All right. Welcome to Y Space.
Hey, y'all.
It is our March bonus episode.
Woo-woo.
And I believe it's the end of March.
It is. What you get? Crazy. We talked about that on Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't even understand. But you guys have had some questions.
These were good ones.
Yeah, there were some good ones this time.
Like a little different. I liked that.
Yeah, some of them are a little bit of a brain teaser. Some of them I'm a little nervous of your response to my answers. And there's one or two that I'm like game time decision what I'm going to say. So those are always.
You know I'm not going to judge you.
Oh,
It's all
right.
kindness.
Right. Anytime we have a recasting question, I get a wee bit nervous. Just a little PTSD from the Britney biopic, but whatever.
Oh, mercy.
Okay, so I'm gonna kick us off. This is from Selma. She asked thoughts on this next generation of pop stars, and she gave the examples of Olivia Rodrigo and Tate McRae, and etc.
Nothing makes me feel our age that you start mentioning these, like Olivia Rodrigo. Yeah, I've heard of her. Tate McRae? What?
You hadn't heard of her?
I mean, maybe I've heard a song, but it's not like, yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
I guess they're fine. Here's the thing. Every generation gets their, group. I'm always interested to see the ones that like stick around for the long haul, who can continue to put music out that people care about. And not just have like one hit or one album that's really great. So I love seeing all the new talent. I think it's great when they pop into the scene. But I don't tend to keep up with the newer generations as much. And I say that, and like a new person comes out and I'm like, oh, they're great. But I don't think I really keep up with them that much. I'm very much set in my ways. If people haven't figured it out.
Pretty much Dan and Shay and Taylor.
Yeah, like I like what I like. Please don't ruffle the feathers and make me do something new.
Yeah. Well, I do think the age aspect comes into play, not to sound like a mammal, but like a lot of my opinion, I do feel like a mammal, kind of like watching some of them. I'm like, put some clothes on and what are you doing?
Also, how did you drop so low and jump up so fast? It's beyond me.
You're gonna regret that in 10 years, trust me. But it does remind me a little bit of like the Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears era, very pop, but can't like transcend. So like, you think about like Christina Aguilera, I mean, from like a vocal range ability, like she's insanely talented.
Right.
But like, what's she doing today? And I mean, Britney's kind of a, like an anomaly because she kind of went bat crap crazy, but I do think it's somewhat like that. I mean, Olivia Rodrigo, like, I'm not a fan. I don't really, it has nothing to do with all the drama that's allegedly between her and Taylor. I don't really care about all that. I just think that Olivia makes me feel awkward because she comes across real awkward when she's performing. It's like she kind of is like a younger version of Taylor, but yet she tries to also be real sexual. But it's like, she's comfortable doing that. So it feels very forced. So
I think a lot of them get so used to like just performing in front of their phone screen. And so then when you put them on a stage and they're completely, it's like, oh, I don't know what to do with all this extra space. Like,
I think the era of like dance teams and the people that are that are like your dancers on tour are almost more important than you now.
100%.
They really make it or break it. Like, I think Olivia's shows, she's so awkward. The bits that I've seen of her shows, it's really what the dancers are doing that keep it like a little less awkward. Tate McRae, I'm not super familiar. I've seen a couple of her songs and I've seen a couple of her covers. And I know she's dating that Kid Leroy guy. I mean, she's a beautiful girl. But she's another one that strikes me very Britney Spears-esque. She's a really good dancer. And I don't necessarily love the way she sounds, which is kind of the same way I felt about Britney.
Are we saying Britney's a good dancer? Is that?
I mean, I'm saying I thought she was a better dancer than singer.
Okay, that's fair.
And then like, I don't know if we include this because she just put etc. But like, if we're talking about like Sabrina Carpenter, I mean, obviously it was like the year of Sabrina last year, but again, does that transcend past the little pop star young? I don't know.
Is Sabrina this generation's Katy Perry?
Well, see, I don't know. Like,
It'd be interesting to see.
Because it was kind of that trajectory. If you think about it, it was like Christina Aguilera, then Katy Perry, and then now it's potentially Sabrina. Obviously, I'm a big Gracie Abrams fan. If we're talking like age range, she's kind of the same age, but Gracie's another one. She's not great in a stadium arena tour.
But her writing will keep her relevant.
Exactly. So I think for me, when I think about this next generation, it's like what can transcend. I don't see the Olivia Rodrigos and Tate McRae's being able to switch genres.
Yeah.
I don't see them having like illustrious writing careers. So yeah, I mean, for that matter, I would say Gracie probably will last the longest, and it'll be from a writing standpoint. I think Sabrina could probably go back to acting if she does kind of become a one-year wonder.
Yeah, that is true.
So I don't know. I mean, yeah, we're 200 years old, and we don't really know.
We're okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, I just feel awkward, like I'm their mom, because I could be.
Right.
Yeah, which is.
But then we instantly recognize, oh, we're being old right now.
Yeah. At least I can call myself out.
Right.
I don't know that helps.
Our generation didn't have that of the older folks.
No. I feel like our parents literally went from
what?
I think our parents went from like being in their 20s and having us to suddenly being in their 50s.
Ancient. Yes.
Yeah. Like I don't think there was the 30s and 40s.
No. My parents and my parents' friends were always old.
Yeah.
Like they just.
My dad really was actually old, but like, yeah,
that's.
All right. This is from Tim. This is one of my game time decision answers. What Taylor Swift song made it feel like she was inside your head?
Anti-hero 100%. I like.
You just want to bring it up, don't you?
Yes, I love that song. I understand where your weirdness comes from with the music video, so I respect that. Yeah. I just literally every line in that song, I'm like, oh, that's me. I was, in her writing session. That was all me. I gave her the idea.
What a dream being in that session would be.
Right. Let me tell you all my crazy life, and then you just start writing.
Just go ahead, sit down with your pen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to have a couple answers.
Okay.
I think it depends on like what phase I was in. Like when I met Erin and like throughout our relationship, a lot of times I feel like she was in my head with New Year's Day.
Okay.
And because like even just like the chorus part of like I'll be cleaning up bottles with you on New Year's Day, that's like totally what he and I would do. Like we would have a party and then and then obviously Clean is my favorite Taylor song. So I always feel like there's different phases of my life where that song, I'm like, it just portrays how I was feeling. But the only other one I was thinking about too was actually not like an album song, was the one from Hunger Games, Safe and Sound. Because I think like just like with anxiety and like depression and all those kinds of things and loss.
Yeah.
I think that song always feels like comforting. And so I feel like if she was in my head, she knew I needed to feel that.
That's a good one.
But great question. Okay, this is from John. We always love these divisional questions. It says time for way too early picks. Who's winning each NFL division this upcoming season? So I figured I would say a conference and we just go back and forth.
Okay. I mean, there's nothing we love more than giving our opinion and making predictions here.
Yeah. Because we're always pretty accurate. I did actually feel very confident in my decisions here today.
Okay. There was only maybe two divisions that I was like, I don't think anyone.
There's one that I'm iffy on, and then one I think I have a surprise answer on.
Okay.
Okay. AFC East.
I went Bills on this one.
Bills, yeah. You
still got Josh Allen. You'll get him some weapons this year. We're good.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
AFC North.
I'm going Bengals. I think the Ravens are going to have a down year.
Okay. So it was between the Bengals and Ravens for me, but defense, again, we've done nothing in Cincinnati. So I went Ravens.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just this defensive piece. I just don't understand what we're doing.
I mean, there's something that happens after June 1st. So maybe we pick up some defense then. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what's out there.
Who knows?
You can't even sign your star. So
yeah.
AFC South.
It's not a great division, but I went Texans on this. Colts, Jaguars aren't bringing much, and the Titans. I just fear they don't realize they're an NFL team. So
the way that the Titans made it such a hullabaloo this week that they signed Tim Boyer.
Listen,
it was. Like, it was almost to the same fanfare level of the Giants signing Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are we doing? This Tim Boyer?
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying. I don't think they know they're in the NFL. Like, you can get real players.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it still opens up the question, are they going to get a quarterback in the draft? And then they would have a complete room of 3. I don't know. All right. I also went Texans. I'm thinking that CJ Stroud is going to be over the sophomore slump. I think Stephon Diggs being out of the locker room is going to help.
Oh, that's true.
They've definitely gotten some help. I think Justin Watson from the Chiefs was a great pickup for them.
100%.
So, yeah, I'm going AFC West.
Chiefs, because we don't go against Chiefs.
Yeah. Duh. Okay. I think this could be my surprising answer. NFC East.
Okay, so I put Commanders, but I'm actually pulling for the Giants.
Listen. Okay, like, you don't even have the Eagles in the conversation.
No.
Oh, wait, you're more surprising than me.
Yeah, no. I honestly, when I was putting my answers, it didn't even cross my mind now that I think about it.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what, if those Giants could make it through the playoffs this year, nothing would make my heart happier. Listen,
I do think that would be hilarious.
And Jameis Winston in a huddle together, please.
It's a full sermon waiting
behind the scenes. Yes.
Yeah. That's crazy. I was torn between Commanders and Eagles. I don't know if you've heard of Saquon Barkley. Apparently you haven't.
He's decent.
Yeah, he's all right. But I went Commanders. I think they've had some good pickups, and I really believe in JD Daniels. Now, he could be facing the sophomore slump like CJ Stroud just went through.
I don't know that his mom will allow him to face a sophomore.
No, she's very in it.
She's very in it.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that he and Juju Watkins really are dating.
Okay, are they, a thing, or are they possibly cousins? Because no one confirmed either way.
Oh, no, good Lord. I don't know. I'd never heard that because now
Oh, yeah, that's what a whole bunch of people on the internet were saying, is that her mom and his mom are sisters and they're actually cousins. That's why they were all hanging out. But then everybody was like, well, but has that been, like, no one's confirmed. So I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm going to need some answers because that's really going to change some thoughts I've had for sure. Maybe real creepy. Okay, did not know. NFC North.
I went Packers.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Again, I was just
Jordan Love going to be throwing the ball to.
Maybe himself.
Okay.
Listen, crazier things have happened.
Yeah, I mean, I used to be a believer in what they were doing, but I just don't know that they have any weapons now. Did you consider any other teams?
Hold on, I'm looking to see who's in the NFC North to see if I really missed the boat on that one.
Well, I mean, the Vikings, the Lions.
Okay, but who are the Vikings going to have as their quarterback? Are we going JJ? Because JJ's lost a whole bunch of weight, and that worries me a little bit.
So they said they're not ruling out an Aaron Rodgers signing, but that they are happy with their quarterback room right now. So it's like today.
If you sign Aaron Rodgers, that doesn't change my thoughts on you.
It doesn't at all?
No.
I mean, I still think he can throw the ball, and you still have Justin Jefferson.
I don't
see him going to the Vikings. I truly don't think he's going to play this season, but Or he's going to announce that he's signing with the Steelers at Pat McAfee's live show on April 9th in Pittsburgh.
I mean, yeah.
That seems real spot on.
Yeah. But the Lions, for some reason, I'm real iffy on them this year. And I
think it's because they so disappointed us last year.
I mean, you still got to the playoffs, but it's kind of like how the Ravens were. Like, once you get to the moment, you can't do anything with it. But also, I don't know that I'm super confident in Jared Goff. He's not bad.
Yeah.
I just don't know if mentally he can get them where he wants to get them.
Well, I think their running game, having David Montgomery and whatever the other guy's name is, that's terrible. I can't think of it. The two running backs that they call Sonic and Knuckles. I think that will be kind of the leading factor for their offense. And I think Aiden Hutchinson being back, he's probably going to come back with a vengeance.
Yeah, he is one that I think will come back from being rehabbed and not be scared to get out there and give it his all.
Yeah. So I went Lions. I really wanted to go Vikings, but the open question at quarterback, I just don't know. I want JJ McCarthy to be successful, and I think he could be. We haven't seen it yet, so I can't say that I think that.
Yeah.
NFC South.
I went Buccaneers.
Same.
Yeah.
I mean, they have pretty much the same roster this year, so
yeah.
Okay, this one I'm sort of a game time decision. NFC West.
I went Seahawks. I could be swayed to a different team. Yeah. 49ers, we already know you've intentionally screwed yourself. You still don't even have a quarterback signed. Like,
there are actually rumors going on right now that potentially there could be a trade in the works with the Steelers.
I'm going to tell you right now, if they trade Brock Purdy, you have mentally lost Kittle, Juszczyk, all those guys.
Yeah.
They do not care anymore.
I think the way that they so obviously went and fought for Juszczyk makes me think that there's no way they get rid of Purdy. But I don't know. Well, he said he wanted the deal done quick. And
you didn't fight for Juszczyk. You let him go. And
well, then, the player, Kittle and them went and fought for him, I think.
True.
I think that's the only reason he's back.
If you drop him at court, if you trade Purdy, who are you getting?
I don't know, because they've traded their backups too.
Yeah.
They don't even have backups right now.
No. Rams, I just am not a fan of them this year. I feel like how they've done some of their players, I'm not okay with that. And then Cardinals, I just never know. Like, I feel like Kyler Murray's name gets brought up, but then you're like, okay, but what did he do?
Yeah, I went Rams because I had more confidence in Matt Stafford than I really did anyone else. And I don't like that answer, but
no.
It will be interesting to see how he vibes with Devontae Adams because he doesn't have Cooper Kupp anymore. So it'll just be interesting. I have to say, though, I think a lot of the conferences are really weak this year.
100%.
Which is...
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. I truly think we could end up with a Chiefs-Commanders Super Bowl.
That would be fun.
I'm in.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. All right. From Kayla. This is a very ambiguous question, I just want to say. You've got an unlimited budget to make your dream movie. Who are you casting?
Okay, so I'm going to run through my list of everyone that's going to be in the movie.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of movie we're going to make with all of them, but they're going to be there, okay?
Okay.
So we've got Julia Roberts, Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston, Tyler Hines, Kieran Culkin, Nate Bargatze, Will Ferrell, Sandra Bullock, and Emma Stone. I don't know what we're making. It's kind of like Happy Gilmore. We're just everyone's invited.
Okay, yeah. I don't know what kind of movie I'm making either, and that really kind of hampers things. But I went Kieran Culkin as well. I went Margot Robbie.
Oh, that's a good one.
Jennifer Lawrence. January Jones.
Oh.
And Robert Downey Jr.
Okay, I like that.
I don't know what we're doing.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I get Mean Girl vibes from Jennifer Lawrence.
I didn't say I wanted to hang out with her. I just
Oh,
said,
that's fair. Now, listen, all these people, I want to hang out with them.
oh, okay, you're
That's
just here
not
for
doing.
you're not here for a long time. You're here for a good time.
That's
Got it.
right. That's right.
Got it. Okay.
It's kind of how I live life.
Yeah, I have no storyline though, so I'm not really
No,
sure
none.
what I would go with. But
Them can come up with a storyline. They're creative.
yeah,
It's
I mean, I
ridiculous.
could think of something.
Yeah.
Listen, if Colleen Hoover can do it, I
Yeah.
can.
Come on.
Okay, from Melody. Who would you say, this one's hard too. Who would you say are the top 5 most influential people in the world today? I love that she came with rules. They have to be alive. That should go without saying since I said in the world.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
In the world.
And you can't pick Jesus. So
That's fair.
okay. I mean,
Listen,
this is a sad commentary on the world today. I don't know that he was on my mind yet for that. So
I'm realizing in the world, and I think I picked all Americans.
okay, so I had this thought in my head.
I don't know world leaders that well.
Yeah, I was like making my list, but that's what I was thinking too. We're doing this from a very American mindset.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Like foreign dignities that like.
Well, so it forced me to put a foreign person in that I didn't have in my original list because I was trying to be worldly.
Listen, I can't be forced here.
Yeah.
Because I even thought of like the King of England, and I thought, but how are you influential? Like we just know who you are.
Yeah. I think it depends on what you call influential too. Like
that was the other thing.
Are we saying like, now you gave us all these rules, Melody, but you didn't give us context, okay? Because
all of the boxes around us that you want, but we're still gonna find some cracks.
So you give your list and your reasonings because I think that helps show what you meant by influential.
Okay, well, you have to put Trump.
I have him too. I have him too.
Like you can't deny the influence there, whether you think it's good or if you think it's bad, it's there. Taylor Swift cannot be left off this list.
Is our list going to be the same?
Listen, this is probably where we might start to mix. The next ones I put, and I picked them because I thought, well, they are literally handling everything right now. So I did Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. Listen, they're handling all of our space stuff right now. They've got everything about the internet and all the, contraptions and stuff. I don't think you can discount the influence that they have and the roles that they have. And honestly, they have enough money to buy all of us out. So, do what you want. Yeah. The last one I have is Bethany Frankel. Listen.
What in the world?
That woman can influence me to do anything, to buy anything. I love her.
Serious?
I love her so much. Listen, she's all over TikTok. She's like our mom on TikTok. I love her.
Okay, well, that was a weird one. I didn't see.
That was going to go a little left for you.
Yeah. Well, maybe mine does too. I don't know. I had Trump as well. Again, yeah, it's not a preference thing. It's just, who in the world isn't talking about Trump today in some regard?
Right.
I went with Taylor. I think what she did with the Eras Tour, what she's done in the music industry, and just the fact that still the name and everything and the brand. Okay, so then I went LeBron.
Very influential.
Yeah, and I was thinking about the Olympics, all the people from other countries, when they would post on TikTok were super excited when they got to see LeBron. So I was okay, maybe.
I think he's another one of those, like him or not, think he's the GOAT or not. People listen.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I don't think he's the GOAT. Don't get me in that fight again. Okay, so then I thought I need to go foreign. And I went Prince William. Okay, now listen. I think, first of all, again, name recognition, right? And you're talking about a generation that we belong to that grew up, first we were in love with them, and then we were, in love with their love story, then we were in love with their family, and now we're, super pumped for him to be king, Yeah. But also I think, so much involvement in so many different things.
Yeah.
Not just because it's forced as the royal family. He really does a lot. He seems like kind of that first part of the generation to go do things. It's not just because, well, historically the royal family's been a member of this, Right. Yeah. So yeah, that was my reasoning.
I think that's actually a good one. From our American point of view, I don't really know what his actual influences, but I think you're right. With all of his charities and the things that he does spotlight, I think in other countries, he has a lot of influence there. So,
yeah. Especially, I think, we forget sometimes because we don't think about World Matters that the United Kingdom still owns a lot of countries,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
okay, my last one I feel like is going to be controversial given things recently. I went Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, give us your reasoning.
Okay, so transcending what's the word I'm looking for? Industries.
Okay.
Okay, so like obviously in the movie acting world, very influential member, like clearly.
True.
He's part of the Marvel universe, which affects the whole world. And outer space in other countries. But then also like all of the business stuff he's doing, like owning Wrexham and like what that's done for the community of Wrexham, like Aviation Gen, all of these different companies he owns.
That's true.
I think like it touches so many different industries. And so that's why I was using him as like an influential industry person.
Yeah. That's not a bad one.
Yeah. That's just, people today are so feisty.
No.
Okay, this is from Savannah. Raising boys and being into sports and pop culture, what types of celebrities are you comfortable with them, quote, liking?
I mean, I could talk about this forever. I think it depends on your kid.
Yeah.
For me, I don't care who you like, what athlete, because speaking from my boys, if they like you, it's because they like what they've seen you in. They've seen you play a game or they like your movie. They have zero context of your personal life or if there's, any issues that you've been into, decisions that you've made that maybe in our home would not be acceptable. That's not ever a thing. And I think like surprisingly growing up in the South, we were a very judgmental house. Shocking. I know.
That is part of the evangelical culture too. That's
weird. I know.
Okay.
So, like specifically for us, I try and very much talk to my kids. Like when things do come up that maybe they see on the news, somebody got arrested that was on their favorite football team or whatever. Like people do tend to make bad choices, and that just happens in life. There's just happens to be on the news because of who they are. Like you can't judge them by that. So for me, again, it just goes back to like, you could still like the person because of their ability and the gifts that they've been given and maybe disagree with some things, but that doesn't make them a bad person or make them not worth celebrating in their other successes. So again, it just kind of depends on your kid. Now, if they're like, listen, if one of my kids liked Kanye, we'd have a talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be
there are some that we just are a no-go in our house, but those are few and far between.
Yeah. I think it also depends on your phase of your child. Like,
yes,
Judd is very much in this phase that I don't actually enjoy what he's into. Yeah. I think it's a lot. Honestly, it's probably a lot of PTSD of how we were raised. He's into a lot of things I just know my parents would have never let me listen to.
Like our dads are rolling in their graves.
Yeah. I'm telling you, my dad would croak. He's very in a rap phase and I like rap music. But so much of it is, in my opinion, inappropriate for a 9-year-old, and he's just into it. And so I don't love that, but I'm also giving him the freedom to figure out who he is. Right. Which I think is a wee bit different than perhaps how we were raised.
Just saying. Not a luxury given to us.
Yeah. I think a lot of times in sports, he tries to antagonize me. And so like, he'll purposely like pick a team that I don't like, and say he likes it. He's always really been into Justin Jefferson. And just this week, he's like, I think George Pickens is better than Justin Jefferson. What are you, dumb? Like,
your frontal lobe's not formed. Get out of here.
Yeah. Like, I'm like, what are you watching? Like, you have lost your mind. And so he's also kind of like, he's very into Google. Like he'll go, if I say, oh, that's not a good rapper, he wasn't a good person, he'll go Google and figure out like why they weren't. And so then he'll want to talk about it. Well, I don't really want to talk about a lot of that stuff.
See, my kids are like, they just don't care.
Yeah.
I wish they would go Google some things that I've said.
So yeah, no, he wants to know the backstory, but then he's gonna be like still liking the person and knowing those details. And I'm like, what is wrong with you exactly? So, but as far as like what I'm comfortable with him liking, I want him to figure that out. I don't want to dictate the way I think it was dictated to a lot of people in our age range. Now, yeah, like to your point, he knows like we're not going to be a Kanye fan. Like we're not going anybody that is like anti the people we do love, we're not going to be
right
with. Yeah, I really want him to figure it out.
Yeah. I think that especially Judd and Grayson's age, because they're so close in age, we do have to put like some parameters, but I feel like they are so minuscule compared to the parameters that we had.
They're a joke.
Yeah.
I feel like such a joke of a parent sometimes because I'm like, that was my role that I just came up with? What? I'm like, I couldn't watch Family Matters because my dad thought it was bad to mock smart people and make them seem nerdy. I'm like,
we couldn't watch Step by Step because divorce and remarriage. Like,
yeah, it's just what are we?
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think both you and I are always been very big on like we want our kids to be exposed to a little bit more than we were, but also be able to formulate their own opinions. I don't want you to go off to college and that be the first time that you've ever had to think for yourself.
Yeah, like because it doesn't go well.
My job, yeah,
doesn't go well. Okay, this one is from Heidi. It says help! Exclamation. I know you have talked about this before, but what do I say to my overly involved mother-in-law who finds TS or Taylor Swift to be anti-Christian? First of all, Heidi, thoughts and prayers to you.
Is my mom your mother-in-law?
Thoughts and prayers to you on your family dynamic. I hope your husband's worth it. Because that's a lot to take in. All right, you go first.
How often are you having to see this mother-in-law? That's what I need to know. Like, are we just having to see her once a year around the holidays, or is this like pretty frequently we're visiting?
I need the backstory, Heidi. Like, what happened? Did you
come back in our DMs because we want to know.
Did you spend some money to go to the Eras tour and she judged you, or like you were in the car with her and she judged you? Like, what level are we at?
Because you can go one of two ways, but they have to be extreme, whichever way you go. You can either just change the subject and don't talk about it. You can just say, hey, we're going to agree to disagree here. So let's just avoid it. Okay. That tends to be where I love. That's my comfort zone. Let's avoid it. Or give her the floor. Tell me all of your reasons why she's Christian. And then let me counter all of it. But here's what you have to be ready for. You are then going into an argument, disagreement, whatever you want to call it, with someone who is not willing to look at both sides of the issue. So you could come back with your best points. You could have Taylor Swift come in. You could have Billy Graham come back and say, Taylor Swift's actually great. And your mother-in-law is not going to change her opinion. So it's one of those things where it's just kind of like, listen, if you're my husband, you're going to go into it and just let's get them going, get them riled up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's definitely.
But I'm like, let's talk about the sun's back in the sky today.
So I recently have found myself really drawn to being passive aggressive.
Love that.
Yeah, it's really, I've been playing it a lot lately, been playing that card. And I'm really liking how the vibe. So here's what I would do. Like Becca mentioned, I would say, tell me all your reasons why. And then when she gets done with her diatribe of all the stupid things, Willow, the orbs, all that stuff, right?
The buzzwords.
Right when she gets done, I'd just be like, those are interesting points.
I like it.
That's all I would do. Done.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, Heidi. You're not going to convince her. She's already not in her right mind because she's overly involved in her son's marriage. Like, okay?
Yeah.
So you can't reason with a crazy person. Like, it's just.
I need to know if Heidi has kids.
Oh.
Well, it doesn't matter. And I need you to play them every Taylor Swift song and find the ones that they love because everybody's going to end up having one. Yeah. And then when you're at your mother-in-law's house, just kind of under your breath, get your kid going on that song.
Oh, yes. I love this.
Listen, grandma's
Heidi, like, let's just if you can avoid her at all costs, for sure.
Here's what you should do. Next time you're going to your mother-in-law's, call us. We'll come.
Yeah.
show up.
Oh, yes. I could bring all my videos from the Eras tour. I could show her.
We'll share friendship bracelets with her.
We should bring some. That's a very good point.
Maybe that's
Heidi, we're going to need to hear, but I'm going to message you, Heidi, because I need to make sure you know we answered this, but then also that we need to follow up.
Listen, I need a coffee date with me, you, and Heidi, and I need her to spill all the tea.
We should get Heidi on the show. Listen, and then we can just send her the episode. That's what we can do. We can send it to your mother-in-law.
There you go.
Heidi, this could be a plan. All right. From Riley, let's pretend you were an NFL GM. It's great because I do that anyway. And you need a quarterback this next season, and you can't have Burrow, Mahomes, or Allen. Who do you go after? Money is no object, and current deals don't matter. First of all, that's what I cannot have. That's a no-no.
Riley, I like that you put money as no object, because if I'm an NFL GM, it literally is no object, because I
really do think it's perhaps monopoly money in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, I know.
Listen, I would just write numbers on pieces of papers and be sliding it over to players all day long.
Yeah.
I can't cash any of those checks, but
nope. I don't know how it works, so I'm just going to put one. Yeah.
Yeah. So if money is no object, I'm probably going to go Baker. I'm also going to sign Jameis as my backup, because literally if I'm a GM, he's going everywhere I am.
That is interesting that you went Baker. I guess I'm not that surprised.
Jalen Hurts is a honorable mention. If Baker, wanted to retire, was like, I'm not going to come play with an NFL GM that doesn't know what she's doing, then I'm going to go Jalen Hurts.
Okay. Well, I went Jaden Daniels, obviously, okay. But I was also thinking, like, I'm clearly needing my franchise guy. I'm looking for somebody, and you've taken everyone of significant value. So, that's what I went. I actually did not think of literally anyone else. No one else crossed my mind.
No.
I was just like, well, which felt weird. I don't know.
Wow.
We'll see if once this season starts and it's a sophomore season, we'll see if I'm gravely disappointed in myself. We'll just see.
That's fair.
Okay, from I'm assuming Lana. I'm just going to go like it's Lana Del Rey. You haven't recast it in a while. It's because it makes me nervous and I miss it. Let's get to it. Recast Dawson's Creek, the grown-up version. First of all, Becca, I have to confirm because I think the answer is no. You didn't even watch Dawson's Creek.
Listen, you already knew the answer to this.
I thought. Now, I did watch. I love Dawson's Creek. I had the box set DVDs.
Yeah. We just weren't really allowed to watch TV. So this just never made it into my sphere.
Well, and I'm like a couple of years older than you. So for me, like I was already like high school, college.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
so I think it's funny that the recasting questions still make you nervous, because the first one we did was the Britney biopic and you were horrendous at it. And I did pretty well.
I mean, that seems harsh to bring up in such terms, but okay.
All of them that we've done since then, I feel like you have excelled and I have really not done well.
You have fallen off. I mean, if you're going to come at me, I'm going to come at you. So go ahead.
So I don't think you should be nervous of these anymore. With that being said, I didn't watch the show. So I'm merely picking people based off of like, what that face looks like, it could fit whatever role he played. I don't know what the personality of the character was. Okay. So for James Vanderbeek's character, I went Jacob Elordi. Maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
For Katie Holmes, I went Haley Steinfeld. Those were just...
Oh, yeah. You're like totally going looks only.
Okay. Yeah. Also, I think maybe they have similar personalities. Maybe in real life.
Yeah. Very like mousy and meek.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that vibe.
Joshua Jackson's character, I went Tom Holland.
Oh.
Michelle Williams' character, I went Elle Fanning. And then Chad Michael Murray, I went Cole Sprouse. Don't love that one. That's who I
Chad
went.
Michael Murray, I don't even remember him being on there. That's One Tree Hill.
Well, he was in One Tree Hill, but when I pulled up Dawson's Creek, the first 5 characters that came up, he was one of them.
It's weird.
So I cast him.
Well, okay. So, okay. Dawson on Dawson's Creek, right, was like into filmmaking even when they were kids, a bit nerdy, but still had like that appeal to him. but very boy next door because he literally was the boy next door.
Okay.
So I went way grown up.
Okay.
Like way older. So I went Jason Bateman.
Okay.
Okay. Joey is Katie Holmes, and very much like, first of all, Katie Holmes' voice to me is so annoying. Just
it's one of those things you just gotta learn to be okay.
Can't handle.
Yeah.
But so Joey's character on the show was like wanted to come across real meek, but really was like feisty. And was also a tease to literally every guy on the show. So I went Jennifer Aniston.
Okay.
And then Pacey, Joshua Jackson's character, he was like the kind of the rebel kid, the one that was like always aloof. And so everybody thought he was going to be nothing. He was real cute. So, there was that factor to him. But he was just like aloof was like the big part of him. Now, I didn't find this person attractive. But I went Owen Wilson for like the proof kind of part. Yeah. And Michelle Williams, her character was weird because she was like new to town and was living with her grandmother who was overly religious, and she was like atheist. It was like her big story arc. Yeah. So I went Cameron Diaz.
Okay. That's a good one.
And that's all I casted. I don't know this thing about Chad Michael Murray. But yeah, so it was not a bad one.
Yeah, that's good.
This may be our fastest episode ever.
Seriously.
Let's see. I just lost the question. Hold on. I don't know what happened. Oh, here we go.
From Shauna.
From Shauna. Kiss, Marry, Kill. We haven't had one of these in a while either.
We haven't.
And I like how you did this one too. So she said, Harvey Specter, Derek Shepherd, and Rip from Yellowstone. Does he have a last name? That's funny. And I mean the characters themselves, not the actors as individuals. I liked that because we typically do the person and not like the role. So I liked this.
As if we truly have to make a decision for this.
Yeah, and I have seen all 3 of these shows, so this helps.
Okay, that's good. I've seen 2 of the 3, so that's pretty good for me, I feel.
Yeah.
So, okay, do we want to do like all my Kiss, Marry, Kill, or do 1-1? 2-2.
Let's do 1-1. We'll see.
Okay. So for my kiss, I went Harvey. He's too stressful to marry, and I'd be sued if I killed him. So,
valid.
Yeah,
I also was going to kiss Harvey. I think just his, he's going to be that guy, like the popular frat guy at a party when you were in college that you like so badly wanted to make out with, but then like you got to know him and you're like, oh, you're really a douchebag.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I still wanted to kiss you. I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
For Mary, I didn't watch Yellowstone. I went Rip. I have no idea what his character's personality is, but he is very rugged and handsome. So
yes, I was definitely Rip all day long. His character is very protective and like hardworking and loyal and so freaking hot. So yeah.
Well, that's funny then that we matched on all these.
Yeah.
So for kill,
it's interesting that you're killing Derek Shepherd.
I mean, if Shonda Rhimes can do it, why can't I?
Valid point.
Listen, he cheated on his first wife. Yeah. And then he wasn't always kind to Meredith, and he wasn't the nicest. I just can't be married to that.
Yeah. I killed him because typically surgeons have this vibe.
Yeah.
They can do no wrong and they're just the greatest thing to give to God's earth. And I just, we can't both have that personality.
Right. So I appreciate that if you're in the operating room operating on me. I want you to think you're the best and do really well. But in like a real life, I can do without.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. No, that was really good. Listen, those were great questions.
They were. And hey, this was our fastest episode. So y'all are welcome for that.
Yeah. Can listen to one fell swoop.
Anything else you'd like to leave our friends with?
No, I don't think so. Duke and Alabama play each other this weekend.
I know, and those are our 2 picks.
Whichever one of us loses is out. Like both of our teams will be out.
It's gonna be tense. Did you catch the Texas Tech Arkansas game last night?
I did not because I was watching the Maryland game and then I quit after I realized I hate the Maryland coach.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize Angel Reese had a brother and that he played for Maryland.
I didn't either, but she was not helping. The vibes were bad with her.
Yeah.
Listen.
So Arkansas, Texas Tech went into overtime. Arkansas had led the game pretty solidly. And then Texas Tech went on about an 18, 19-point run, which never a good sign. So then we went into overtime, and I knew pretty confidently then that the vibe wasn't going to be good because, like, if they're riding that momentum and we've lost our wind. We lost by 2.
I did see the score. That is rough.
Oh, man. It's painful. It's painful. But I didn't, in my bracket wise, I didn't have Arkansas going anywhere. So, just
still
defeating thought. All right. Well, we'll be back Tuesday with a regularly scheduled episode. And thanks for listening. Keep the questions coming. Heidi, I'm calling you. Or
yes.
I'm calling you. All right. Bye, y'all.